So hello and welcome. I'm Frederick Dunn, and this is The Way to Be. And this is a series of pollinator plants that you can have on your own property that will benefit all kinds of pollinators. But in my case, I'm interested in the honeybee specifically, but we'll also show some other pollinators that are attracted to this particular tree that we're going to cover today. And the trees that we're going to cover are the linden trees, and we have two varieties on my property. Specifically, we're going to show my most successful linden tree, which is the little leaf linden. But the linden tree that's in the middle of the scene here is an American linden, and they're a little smaller, a little younger. And these are my honeybees because I have a honeybee apiary here, so I'm always interested in what's going to benefit them at different times of the year. So these sequences were captured in June the 22nd, Northeastern United States, Agricultural Zone 4. So for those of you who are wondering what zones these are good for, zones 4 to 8. The U.S. Department of Agriculture gives those hardiness zones, and the linden trees all work there. They're decent on all kinds of soil. So in this case, this was an old hayfield, and now we've planted 3 linden trees here. And 2 of them are pretty small, so the next question that comes along most often is, how long before they're going to produce flowers? Well, look at this American linden tree. It has just a couple of flowers on it. They're not even open yet, but this is the featured tree of the video. This is the little leaf linden tree. Now this particular tree can grow about 50 feet tall. It just happens to be right around 10 or 11 years old, which is right on time for when it begins to really produce flowers. And that's what we're going to look at today, and it benefits the honeybees and other pollinators. Also, this thing will live over 100 years, so it's going to be here long past me. And it's great in full sun. It doesn't care about the quality of the soil so much. Not sure how drought tolerant it is, but we have plenty of moisture here. It's mostly found in the northeastern United States, and in this case, it's in the state of Pennsylvania. So these are the flowers, and that's a fly on them. It develops and produces nectar, and there's also pollen anthers that you can see here that are all sticking out on the tips there. In the circumference, you see the anthers. So bees can get pollen and nectar, but I will say that the big draw for these flowers will be the nectar for the pollinators. And you can smell this tree from quite a ways off, and it's a rich, sweet smell, so it advertises itself really well to your pollinators. A lot of different insects come to it, of course. And you might be wondering how tall it gets. They spread about 40 feet, and they get a little over 50 feet tall. And again, that's the little leaf linden. The American lindens may get a little taller than that, but I don't think I'm going to be around for it. So it is a game of patience, and you have to plan ahead because you're going to be waiting 10 years before you're going to start to see prolific blooms. And then you also may be wondering, how long do the blooms last? So this will be opening blooms throughout the week, so 7 to 10 days. We just happen to have very good weather, so we're lucking out, and that's why I'm making this video. So the blooms that we're looking at now are June 22nd. This helps me keep a log regarding what kind of resources are available on my property so that I can plant other things that will fill in the gaps and avoid dearth periods. Dearth periods are when there isn't nectar and there are not pollen sources for your bees to continue. So the larger the tree, the more flowers, the more benefit to your bees and other pollinators. So that just goes without saying. So as this tree gets bigger year after year, it's going to provide a very nice nectar flow at a time when the milkweed is just starting to open up as well. So we have lots of resources here. I highly recommend this tree. And you should know the Japanese beetles go after it, as do aphids. So I have these little ladybugs on here that are going to munch up the aphids and prevent them from damaging the tree too. Everything eats linden tree leaves, including deer. Japanese beetles are going to come out later in the summer, and they're going to be attacking the leaves as well. That, by the way, is not a bee. That's a fly, and it's known as a bee mimic. So it's a fly that's after the nectar. And of course, it's benefiting from the fact that it appears like a bee that could sting you, but it can't. They're just flies. And that's a solitary bee right there, so it shows the diversity of the pollinators that visit. Another mimic right there, so that's a fly. And you'll just have a good time seeing a lot of different things, visiting the tree, smelling the sweetness of it, and of course, watching your bees get honey, which is a nice clear honey, light colored, light in flavor, and does not condense or set too fast. Thanks for watching. I hope you benefited from this, and I hope that you have a great time finding plants for pollinators for your own property. I'm Frederick Dunn, and this has been The Way to Be.